Summoning Jutsu!
Shikamaru gets done kinda dirty in the anime. After getting pushed into the arena by Naruto, Shikamaru lays there for a bit while the crowd starts showering him with garbage. Judging from that and the dialogue, the anime was going for a more comedic route, while the manga was rather serious. The manga also shows how Shikamaru backed Tamari in the future. Who would have thought it was that simple?
If you won't move, I will!
Hey, I didn't start the match yet.
I forgot. This girl's a spunky one.
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really expecting much from this match due to what we've seen from Shikamaru in the Forest of Death. I really thought he was going to get the 10-10 treatment. However, once I heard Shikamaru's banger of a theme song, I already knew what was in store. After seeing Shikamaru evade Tamari's attack by leaping onto the two kunai he threw into the wall, it was clear to me that all the trading he did with Asuma and Choji actually paid off. Think about it. Do you think Forest of Death Shikamaru? Yes, this guy, the guy that could barely hold his shadow position for a minute, would have been able to evade Tamari's attack so effortlessly? I think not.
It really doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me whether I ever become a Chunin or not. But I guess maybe I shouldn't let myself get beaten by a female.
Female sounds so awkward in that sentence. Why not just say girl like the manga did? I know they already emphasized Shikamaru isn't a complete goober already, but can we just put a little bit more respect on his name? For real, he could probably speed blitz Minato. In order for Tamari to not see him evade her first strike, he had to move fast enough to disappear from her eyesight. Although you could easily shrug that off since she isn't a melee combatant, so obviously her strikes aren't going to be the fastest, which, fair assessment if you do. The real crazy part is how he managed to dodge her wind style attack. He put so much distance in between them in such a short span of time.
I know it's not very classy for a guy to clobber a girl, but whoever said I was classy?
Fair enough. Can't really argue against that logic.
Nice try, but I know what your game is.
This is a big disadvantage Shikamaru has in this matchup. You could argue it goes both ways, but I'd have to respectfully disagree. Tamari knowing Shikamaru's ace in the hole puts the odds heavily in her favor. Sure, Shikamaru knows her jutsu as well, but doesn't help him nearly as much. The only thing Shikamaru could realistically do against Tamari is 1. Run at her and engage in hand-to-hand combat, which probably would have worked had he rushed her either of the times he easily evaded her attack. However, he'd be going in with zero information, which is very against Shikamaru's character. 2. Shikamaru could use a smoke bomb to cloud her vision, followed by throwing some shuriken at her. Only problem with that is she'd blow all of that away with her fan. Shikamaru knows that, so he definitely wouldn't go for option 2. Then there's option 3. Assess the situation and find a way to outplay her. Tamari, on the other hand, can easily hang back and lob attacks so as long as she has chakra. Shikamaru seeing her one style isn't a big deal because he can't easily counter it. The higher-ups watch the preliminary matches, so they are well aware Shikamaru is at a huge disadvantage right now. Without a doubt, that definitely played a huge role into Shikamaru being promoted to Chunin. Like I said earlier, if Shikamaru YOLO speed blitzed Tamari through the smoke cloud instead of jumping onto his kunai and waiting, he could have separated her from her fan and defeated her that way. However, Shikamaru didn't take that risk, and instead went for the safer, more guaranteed route.
Go for it, Shikamaru! Use a super ultimate technique on her and take that bitch down!
Hell yeah, you know? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not exactly sure what technique she was referring to since she knows Shikamaru doesn't have any offensive jutsu, but I dig the energy. In the manga, Ino just tells him to use a 16-punch combo. Although that makes much more sense, it isn't nearly as motivating, so I'm gonna go with the anime on this one.
Shikamaru may not have as much fighting spirit as some other people, and okay, his technique is pretty lousy, but he's strong at strategy. So strong, in fact, that without him, we might not have gotten through the preliminary round.
She makes a good point. Personally, I think Team 10 is the most well-rounded team. Granted, it's sort of manufactured to be that way, given that they are Ino Chikacho. But that doesn't make my statement any less true. Each person on their team has a clear-cut role. Ino is the leader, which definitely fits her personality. Shikamaru would make a great leader as well, but it would be a lot more effort and responsibility than he would like to take on. Plus, that would deprive Ino of a role in the team, since she wouldn't make nearly as good of a tactician as Shikamaru does. As for Choji, well, we all know Choji's role.
What's more, you should have seen how he threw himself into the arena.
I'm not exactly sure where Ino was looking when Shikamaru was pushed into the arena, but given Shikamaru's landing, I definitely wouldn't assume that was intentional.
I'm just not into putting effort into stuff. The only reason I became a ninja was so I could do whatever I wanted. Jeez, who knew it'd be so much work?
Well, I don't know who told Shikamaru what being a shinobi was like, but being a shinobi literally means sacrificing your wants for the needs of the village. I gotta say, the manga set up Shikamaru using the whole Naruto made a lot better. Shikamaru goes from looking up at the clouds, which, create shadows and all, to very clearly looking at the hole Naruto made in the ground. Then the focus is shifted over to Naruto directly afterwards. I'm not gonna hold y'all. While watching the anime, I didn't pick up on that at all. I saw the hole in the ground and it was like, oh okay, they're showing that they're just being consistent by not forgetting to draw the hole. Carry on then. It would have helped if anime Shikamaru looked down before transitioning to the hole.
Ninja art! Winside Jutsu!
Excuse me, what? As Sasuke said in episode 22.
That's some chakra he's got in his arm.
That's the only explanation for that tree being cut up by her wind while Shikamaru's body remains perfectly intact. The next time I see a shuriken or kunai flying at Shikamaru, he better not dodge it. Studio Parrot botched this scene so hard. Anime Tamari looks so foolish compared to manga Tamari. The reason I say that is, anime Tamari starts backflipping while the shadow possession is extremely far away. Now, I don't want to say she went to the Prometheus school of running away from things, since running in a straight line is the most effective way to evade the shadow possession jutsu. However, backflipping in a straight line like this is completely ridiculous. Move, woman, run! Get to the chopper! Manga Tamari backflipping doesn't look ridiculous because the way it's depicted. It looks like Tamari started backflipping because the shadow was dangerously close to reaching her. So her knee-jerk reaction was to backflip away since that's a lot faster than turning around and running. The manga also shows Tamari acknowledge the shadow shrinking and come to a stop. She doesn't just stop backflipping randomly while hoping for the best. Her being able to accurately measure the range of Shikamaru's shadow possession seems way more like a stretch in the anime than it does in the manga. While the dialogue is practically the same, manga Kankuro mentions Tamari measured the max range of the shadow possession jutsu using her fan. Simply adding using her fan at the end of the sentence makes it a whole lot more believable since she used a tool versus eyeballing it. Fortunately for Shikamaru, Tamari spent that time staring at him instead of converting him into mincemeat.
Are you sure he's even got a strategy?
I hope so.
Aw, come on, Asuma. You just spent the last 2 minutes hyping him up. Plus, you're his sensei. You can't go from hype man to doubter that quickly.
Go, Shikamaru! Do something!
Don't waste your breath. He'll give up soon.
Based Choji is based. It's too bad Shikamaru had a small chakra reserve. Imagine if he had more chakra and the ability to create shadow clones. He could have created a shadow clone, had it run out alongside the wall while throwing kunai at her, while the real Shikamaru blindsided her with the shadow possession.
How's Shikamaru gonna use his shadow anyway? I mean, what's he gonna do? He's in the shadow of the arena already.
Unbelievable! You really don't know anything about what Shikamaru's capable of, do you?
Choji sounds absolutely foolish here for no good reason. Ino spent the last month working while Choji spent every day training with Shikamaru. I find it hard to believe Choji paid so little attention to what was going on around him considering food was on the line. I mean, just look at how serious he is. Let's take some time to appreciate how Kishimoto keeps showing the hole Naruto made. Without even realizing it, we're watching Shikamaru inch Tamari closer to the hole.
Tamari! Over your head!
Oh, you freaking cheater! Let her fight her own match. Nobody said anything when Naruto almost caught Neji lacking. This gotcha moment was executed better in the manga. Tamari being led between the two holes makes sense in both. However, the manga does an excellent job at showing how distracted she was while also giving the readers insight into how the shadow possession jutsu works. Considering she was preoccupied evading Shikamaru's shadow while analyzing it, it makes perfect sense she was careless. In all honesty, she was probably so tunnel visioned that she didn't even see the giant hole in the ground directly in front of her.
The longer this match takes, the lower the sun gets. The longer the shadows, the farther his range.
Yeah, that's what the anime gave us, by the way. I'm gonna be honest, that didn't sound very intelligent at all.
How could he have caught me with his shadow? It couldn't reach this far.
Look behind you. I'll let you.
Aw, what a gentleman. Shikamaru is truly a smooth criminal.
Don't you recognize that hole? It's where Naruto popped out of the ground and knocked Neji for a loop.
I'm telling you guys, this is the only reason why Neji lost to Naruto. Screw what I was talking about in previous episodes. The only reason why Neji lost to Naruto is so Shikamaru could use the holes made in the ground to defeat Temari. Now that may sound like a stretch, but just think about it. The outcome of Shikamaru's match was decided long before its debut in the manga. Shikamaru needed a way to defeat Temari, or should I say, a way to continuously outplay Temari to demonstrate his abilities as a ninja. If Shikamaru couldn't do that, he wouldn't have been promoted to Chunin. If he wasn't promoted to Chunin, the Sasuke Uchiha arc just doesn't exist. The closest thing to a Chunin would have been Neji, and even if Neji was granted temporary Chunin status and formed the exact same team as Shikamaru, he wouldn't have led it the same, which would have led to complications. In conclusion, Neji got played. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Like I said, he's thinking 3 moves ahead.
Well, actually, that's what Kurenai said earlier, but I guess you can piggyback off that.
Amazing. He was thinking 3 moves ahead all along.
As I said, that's Shikamaru's strength.
The hell with it. I give up.
I don't think anybody saw this coming. Choji said Shikamaru would surrender and Asuma said he was lazy, but after putting in all that work, it only made sense for Shikamaru to cash in. What made Shikamaru surrendering even funnier is he explained to her the magnitude of how hard he outplayed her, slowly walked up into melee range, looked her in the eye, then said, I'm good. I got my dub. GG's. I surrender.
See? I told you he'd give up. Looks like I know Shikamaru a little bit better than you do, huh?
Well, he's not wrong. Choji was the only one to call it. Everyone else thought they were going to get another underdog match.
I used up all my chakra on that shadow possession jutsu. I'm good for about another 10 seconds. That's it. Bummer. And here I'd already planned out the next 200 moves in my head.
My respect for Shikamaru grew immensely after this episode. Imagine if Shikamaru had base Naruto levels of chakra. He still wouldn't be able to beat Neji, Naruto, or Sasuke, but he'd be an extremely formidable foe. Imagine how long he'd be able to hold people using shadow possession. Ino and Choji would be able to run laps around their opponents. And unfortunately for you, you are said opponent. If you want to escape my shadow possession, hit the like button. If you want to escape my range, hit the subscribe button. Remember to stay resolute out there in the field and to click this playlist for more videos like this one. Deuces.
Ninja art and the video jutsu.